Hey guys, Pressville Comic Book Universe. Am I wearing the right shirt for this one? Alright, so you know the deal. I'm going to be reviewing every single episode. I'll be binge watching the hell out of these. At one point, I've got to go to a school meeting, but aside from that, no, I will be pushing right through this. I hope, I imagine. Kicking the family out. Alright, so episode one. Holy crap. Okay, first off, I got like a brand new favorite song for at least a little while. That right, left song, that was good. I love me some punk sometimes. That was just really good. And when you got like a military-esque style punk, digging it. Never heard that before. Alright, so check this out. We got a whole bunch of spoilers in here. The s.h.i.e.l.d. crime family. I don't know if some of you guys, you read a lot of The Punisher and you're just like, oh my god, the s.h.i.e.l.d.'s written this. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Ma Nushi was one of the funniest, most messed up parts ever. A woman who winds up getting her arms and legs removed, not in the nicest of ways. Punisher, what are you going to do? And then bites the Punisher's legs, gets herself kicked into, what was that again? What was that, like a fire, a wood chipper, a concrete? I think it was a fire. Anyway, wow. Okay, so in this issue, this episode, first off, Frank Bernthal, yes, he is the Punisher. Make no mistake about it. He's the Punisher. I used to love me some Thomas Jane, man. Used to love me some Thomas Jane. I said he was the best Punisher that we've ever seen. Tom, man, I'm sorry, brother. You're a close second. But right now, Bernthal's got this. Oh, man. Like, it's more than just going Shane from The Walking Dead. This dude's got it. All right? Everything that happened here, little Donnie, stupid freaking Donnie, all right, goes and drops his wallet like that. He said yes to something he shouldn't have said yes to. He only said he's going to buy the first round for those guys, just whatever. He's just trying to be a good kid, you know what I'm saying, but trying to fit into things like that. And yeah, Frank took a liking to him. Go figure. Um, you know what? Like Frank was really just looking for a way. Frank Castle just looking for a way to get into this. Oh, by the way, calling himself Pete Castiglione. His go ahead and check out below in the description below. I have my Punisher explained in a minute. I think it's actually like 3 minutes long, 2 minutes, whatever it is. It's Frank Castle. He needs a lot more than a minute, but I get into a very brief explanation. Everything you need to know about the Punisher for the most part. Boom, there you go. What do you call it? I like that. Oh, first off, yeah. So Castiglione, that's actually his original name. Francis Castiglione is actually his original name. He changed that name. Why did he change that name? Oh yeah, check the Punisher explained in a minute to know why. But anyway, the thing that I really dug about this is that his wife kept on saying in the oh for crying, there's so much in this. I'm trying not to forget. I knew I should have brought a notebook, but his wife in the flashbacks kept on saying, okay, you're home now, you're home. Obviously home, and he's not going back to war and whatnot. You're home now. You know what the last episode, the 13th episode of this show is called? Home. Or is that the 12th? Anyway, the 12th or the 13th is going to be called Home. Yeah, and you know what? I can actually check right now because I have all of my thumbnails pre-made. And bada boom. Yep, it's 12. 12 of 13 is going to be called Home. Anyway, this is interesting. They got a whole bunch of really good stuff going on in this, and I'm enamored already. It really felt like he was a war vet. It really felt like, being in the military, being former military myself, 6 years Army. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to even from World War II, but like so many Nam vets. And mind you, the Punisher was originally a Nam vet, and I do feel that in many ways so much is lost here because the most unpopular war in American history, the reason why we lost Vietnam as Americans, is because it was just such a ridiculously unpopular war, and it didn't help that there was no good reason for us to be over there. It doesn't help that there was a draft. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help that just so much wrong. We were asked to do so much that should never have been expected of human beings. So the people who actually served in Nam, let me tell you something. Some of their stories, man, unbelievable. The kind of stuff that they had to put up with, absolutely unbelievable. So I feel like something is kind of lost, but we also can't wind up making the Punisher here like 50, 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? In order to make this believable, There's a reason why he kept Nam in the comic books, but here it's a little bit different. So they went with Iraq and Afghanistan, and there's obviously there's going to be this big heroin case, and this is all stuff that's actually being pulled from things that really did happen over there, things that technically are still happening now. Longest occupation in American history, for crying out loud. A lot of really messed up things. Oh, for crying! And you know what? I hate having to say this, but like it was mentioned in here that one fat vet who was talking about people don't understand the biggest war going on right now is against white Christian Americans. Shut up, man. Shut up. Our culture is not in danger. I've been all over the place, all right? You name in Europe, there's a good chance I've been there. Been all over the Middle East, for crying out loud, all right? Lived in Saudi Arabia for 5 years. Worked in Egypt, all right? Gone all over the place, all right? And let me tell you, so you know what I find in all these countries? I find McDonald's, I find Coke and Pepsi, I find all of our movies, I find all of this stuff. When you turn on the TVs, they will translate their stuff, like subtitles and whatnot, our American movies into Arabic or whatever over there, and sometimes they're just blasting it in actual English. There's a reason why English it's not the most spoken language in the world, but it's the most desired language in the world to be learned. Dude, just like the British invasion back during the times of, the Beatles coming over and Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and The Who and all them, just like when they came over with the so-called British invasion, all that was our music they were bringing right back to us. And that's all that's going to happen in the foreseeable future. Anything that comes into our country from outside, there's no way it's going to be anything but our own stuff, remanufactured and brought back to us, stuff that we didn't even know was already here. It was just our blues music that nobody, for the most part, never listened to back in the day. That's what the British invasion was. Check it out. Anyway, everything that happened in this was just so believable. Him losing it, he had that what's called the 10,000 mile stare. Oh my God, or was it meter? I think it's 10,000 meters. Anyway, just wow, staring off in the distance as people are talking to him. People, whether it's confrontational or not, and he's flashing back because I've seen it and it sucks. It hurts when you recognize this in another human being. When you talk to them and their mind just kind of wanders off, and you could tell that something that you said, and you'll never know what it is that you said, just triggers something that makes them think back to that. Like PTSD is something. And Frank Castle was a troubled soul going into Nam in the comic books, here into Afghanistan. But it was something else entirely. That one dude, what was his name? Kurt, I think, the guy who was running that talk for vets. Like the vets come down to this basement and have a conversation with them. That's real life, and that sucks, man. I want you to think about that. That's people who are down there with the same exact churches and whatever that are being used, municipal centers, whatever. They're also housing drug addicts, alcoholics, not quite the same, close enough though, right? What do you call it? People who beat their wives, you know what I'm saying? Like domestic abusers and whatnot. People who are down there, talking about, the crimes that they used to do and whatnot. And when you think about that, the veteran is the one person who's most likely to be utilizing all of those services. It's a messed up situation. It's really messed up. And some of the things that were said down there, I can't help but say it. Like you got Armistice Day, you got Veterans Day, you got Memorial Day, you got all these different things where it's like, oh yeah, day off of work, a day off of school, gonna have a barbecue, gonna go to the beach, 4th of July, all these different things. May I recommend, and I'm not talking about me, may I recommend, find something nice to do for a veteran. That's it. That's it. Make your... Just like, when they say, Christmas, don't forget what Christmas is really supposed to be all about. It's not about commercialism and toys and gifts and things like that and the feasts. What's it really about? Likewise, remember what these other days are actually supposed to be about. Actually maybe consider trying to remember something. That's all I'm suggesting. I'm not trying to, put anything on anybody. It is what it is. Try and remember try and help out a veteran. That's it. Okay, guys, much love. I'm going to go back and watch me some Punisher because, yeah! All right. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.